A few weeks ago, Mojang released some update information about the new 1.16 Nether update, and this is what the Nether currently looks like. What I've got planned for this video is that I want to take inspiration from what they showed us in the reveal trailer and kind of put my own twist on it as well, making my own kind of Nether update. Also, I hope that you guys enjoy the beautiful background and you get to see my face for once. It's featured by Little Baby Groot, some boxes. What more could you want? So this is what the Nether currently looks like, and we know that they're adding 3 other biomes, maybe more, we don't really know to be honest. But before we get into that, today's video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is one of the most ambitious RPG projects of 2019 and has just been released. It can be compared to some of the biggest PC and console titles, and it's completely free. It's got everything you're looking for in a turn-based RPG like this. It has an amazing storyline, awesome 3D graphics, giant boss fights, PvP battles, and hundreds of champions to collect and customize. Over 10 million players worldwide have already downloaded the game in less than 6 months. In Raid, you have the ability to personally customize your champions, choosing their artifacts and creating a unique master build for each one of them. I personally am down for fighting my way through the campaign, trying to get that 3-star rating on each and every level, while taking on some pretty crazy bosses at the end of each story arc. With over 300,000 reviews, Raid has almost a perfect score on the Play Store, so you can be sure you're getting some quality gameplay. The highly anticipated new Faction Wars feature is now live on the game, and you can get a new daily login reward for the first 90 days in the game. If you guys want to check out my clan in the game, then you can do so by finding me under the name TrixyBlox. Go to the video description, click on the special links, and you'll get 50,000 silver and a free epic champion as part of the new player program to start your journey. Lastly, a big thank you to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. So when I got the idea to do this, I got in contact with the creator of the PewDiePie pack and the Jacksepticeye pack and a bunch of other texture packs that have been coming out recently. So I got in contact with Ewan to help out with this video, because otherwise it wouldn't be possible because the update isn't out yet. So the idea was that I'd get him to create a custom texture pack that looks like all the new blocks that are coming out in the new update, so that I could use them to recreate the update and then build with them further. So a big thank you to Ewan for helping. You can check him out, give him some love, show him some support. His links are down in the description below. Anyway, I think it's about time that we get into this video. So we're done with the new update, and this is how things turned out. And honestly, it looks pretty sick. This is what we can kind of expect to see in the new update. Maybe not exactly the same, but it's pretty similar. We've got these massive stalactites that kind of connect to the roof, which is pretty sick. We've got these bone remains, like these fossils laying around everywhere. And of course, down here, we've got some blue fire as well. So this blue fire and the nether sand here and the blocks that we use for the stalactites here, these are all part of the texture pack that Ewan made. Same within the other biome as well. There's a bunch of different blocks that we don't have access to yet that he's added into the pack, which is pretty cool. So another thing that we couldn't really replicate in the texture pack because it doesn't allow it is the atmospheric lighting that we've got going on here. So because these shaders are extremely customizable, we've got all these different settings here that we can choose and change and whatnot. The really cool thing is if you go into color, dimension color, nether, you can change how it looks from the atmospheric lighting in the place, which is really sick. So we can kind of achieve that same feeling that the Nether update has with the atmospheric lighting changing. So it's like a cyan blue in the Soul Sand Valley. And in the two forest variants, they've got different lighting as well. You've got red for the red one, and you've got a blue for the blue one. So we can kind of cheat it and replicate it with this, which is really nice. And you get this nice teal cyan tinge to the atmosphere, which really pulls things together. You know, it looks really good. And it matches the blue fire as well, which is also pretty sick. So this is what the red forest looks like, or whatever it is that they're calling it. The red variant, and I mean, come on, it looks pretty sick. Like, the stuff that they're doing to change the nether is definitely going to help make it more interesting. These trees as well, I mean, I roughly kind of copied the design that they had. They're just randomized Minecraft trees, so they're never going to look great. But I did my version of them, and I think they look all right. And so next to the red forest, we've got this lovely blue or cyan forest, and look at it. It looks awesome. I can't wait for them to actually add this into the game. So it's basically the same thing that's going on in the red version. I've just made the blue version, and I've done in both the red and the blue, we've got these two little villages here just to demonstrate what it might look like with this kind of wood variant if they add this for the piglings. So yeah, it just looks really, really nice. And yeah, I mean, just look at it. It's filled out the nether and made it look a lot more interesting from what it was. So very quickly before we do move on, I want to check to see what this looks like without the texture pack on, because it's probably going to look extremely nasty considering he used a bunch of different blocks that you wouldn't usually build with. Oh my god. Would you look at this? Now this is a biome I can get behind. Wow. So yeah, he used a bunch of different glazed terracotta blocks with the patterns on it, and so yeah, this looks garish. Definitely looks interesting. So all the plant life that he added as well are different types of rails. So you've just got a bunch of different rails lying around on the ground as well. Yeah, if you want to check this build out, I think you're going to have to use the texture pack, because my god, it is something else without it. I mean, my god, we're using end pillars as the log of the tree. Like, it just doesn't get better than that, does it? Look at how revolting that is. Right, anyway, let's move on and transform this thing. Right, so after a long time building, this is what we came up with. So, as things go for changing, we didn't do a huge amount. I mean, I wanted to do the main features that were coming in the update. So, I changed around a lot of these kind of stalactites, made them a lot thicker, and then I varied them in shape and size as well. So, we've still got thin ones kind of around, but they kind of just blend better into the ceiling and into the floor. Right, and then the first big thing that we're going to look at is the kind of monster or dragon fossil like remains, whatever it is. I'm actually pretty happy with how this turned out. I mean, first of all, I was just planning on doing the face and kind of doing the blue flaming eyes because that looks sick and it really fits into the blue flames and the bones and whatnot. But then I felt like it was just a bit too lonely by itself, so I added a skeleton behind it with a little bit of a rib cage going on that's kind of buried into the ground. And then I just decided to add some wings, and now we've got a dragon's corpse on the ground. Either way, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It looks pretty sick and it kind of fits in with the environment as well. Something like this in the actual default game would be nuts. I did some changes to some of the fossils as well, but I kept a lot of them default just because they were in the background and this was a long process. I spent a long time on this one, and then I did a few little versions and variations like this one down here. And there's a few over there as well, but the main thing that we want to look at now is the Pigling Stronghold. Yeah, I wanted to kind of base it off of the pre-existing pillager towers that we already have and then expand on the idea a little bit. So we've got one, then we kind of just made it into a second one, and then down here we've got this little platform area that leads down to the ground with a little staircase. Similar kind of design as these ones, but I just wanted to add another level, you know. Then we've scattered around some of these blue like braziers around, which are also pretty sick. So I scattered in a few banners as well just to kind of make it really fit with the build, I thought. So I've got a few skull and crossbone banners around, and then we've got this little cage up here. I don't know, in case the piglings decide to capture one of the boars or something else, maybe a person, I don't know. Either way, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Got these nice watchtowers here. I used the old tactic of using barrier blocks. Obviously that's not available in vanilla, I get that, but this is kind of just like my fun creative take on it. So it's got this really cool rope ladder that hangs down, a fun simple little watchtower, and I've scattered a few of them around it as well. And then we've got these really cool walls that I added in between each of these stalactites, and they really fit. I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. I spent a long time on it, so I should be. But yeah, adding in and using these different wood and block types and stuff that Ewan added into the texture packs really helped kind of change my palette, and it also fits with the rest of the theme of the build, just like the black and the red design. Looks very menacing, you know, fits the kind of pigling theme. A few more banners down here as well. I'm just really happy with how this turned out. This was like the main thing, I think, from the build, as well as the dragon skeleton as well. I mean, that's pretty cool. So then we come over to the red wart forest or whatever it's going to be. So we made these different tree variations, and they're just like a little bit more fantasy style and a little bit of a different change from the vanilla ones that they're adding. It looks really nice. I'm happy with how it turned out. So yeah, I just changed the tree designs in this one. I didn't really want to differ too much. Like, I'm not going to do some crazy amount of terraforming because it's such a big area. Like, I'm practically doing like 3 biomes right now. And finally, I completely forgot, but we're going to add it in now because why not? He also remodeled the cows to look like the boars, the pigling boars. I can't remember the name for them, but it's something along the line of those. Doesn't it just look sick? He did a really good job with this pack, honestly. I'm always excited when they add in new mobs into the game, and I mean, look at these guys. See, how can you resist these adorable white eyes? He looks like he's staring into my soul right now. What a beauty. So we've got the red wart forest, and you can see the atmosphere has kind of changed a little bit. I changed up the shader settings, and so now this is what the blue nether wart forest looks like. And doesn't this look sick? This looks like some like crazy fantasy forest or something. I think it's just because I'm working with these color styles. Like, I never do anything with color, not crazy like blue or red like this, and so this just looks awesome. I'm really happy with how this turned out. So I hope that you guys enjoyed. Make sure that you leave Ewan some love. Go check him out with the links in the description. I've got more stuff coming on the way. These videos take a long time to produce, but I'll do the best I can. If you're new here and you've just discovered me from this video, then make sure you subscribe, hit that big red button, and turn on notifications so that you'll be notified the next time that I upload. These kind of videos take a long time to produce. This one in particular took a solid 7 days, I want to say, to complete. So I'd really appreciate it if you could show some love and support down below and like this video. If this video can get, let's do a like goal, shall we? That's not cringe at all. 12,000. I feel like that's doable. So go like the video. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll see you next time.